here we go. The last video of lesson 22. Tara pours, this is number 3 on page 206, I think, the one after number 2 on the last video. Tara pours 40 and 25 hundredths cups of juice equally into 23 glasses. How much juice is in each glass? I know. Why do we need to know these details? But we're practicing our division. So let's make a tape diagram. Make sure on the page you are doing this with me. Okay, so how much do we have all together? We have 40 and 25 hundredths cups. Okay, so please make sure you write that down. 40 and 25 hundredths cups of juice. And she pours it equally into 23 glasses because she's having a party with 23 friends. Okay, and we don't need to draw 23 lines. We can just say dot to dot, and we can notate down here at the bottom that this is 23 glasses, right? And the question is, how much juice is in each glass? So you're right, we're going to divide. And using the standard algorithm and the area model at the same time, let's give that one a shot and see how we can do with that. So let's write it over here. You know what? I want to put it up a little bit higher. Just erase that. Okay. 40 and 25 hundredths. And you are doing that as well. And what are we dividing it by? We're dividing it by 23 because we're pouring it into 23 glasses. So this number divided, right? Okay, and then we're going to think about the area model. And here's an area model. And we know we're dividing by 23. Okay, and we're going to put the chunks that we're cutting off in here, and then we're going to put the answer, the quotient is going to land on top. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that for now. So 23 and 40. Do you see the 40 here and the 23? Well, 23 goes into 40, right? And since it's 23, if it was 20, it would fit into 42 times, right? But it's 23, so it's only going to fit into 41 time. This is our division step, right? When we're thinking about 40 divided by 23. And please make sure that you think about dead. Monkeys smell bad. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Because we really need to know how to do our division. Okay, so we divided. Now we're going to multiply. And I just noticed that I put these out of order. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not sure why I was distracted. But let's erase. I'm not even going to say, because we don't want to get confused. Dead monkeys smell bad. Okay, so we divided. Now we're going to multiply. 1 times 23. Okay, so I'm taking out a chunk of 23 there, right? So here's one chunk of 23, and that would be 1. And 1 times 23 would be 23. So that's the chunk that I've taken out of my total that's under the house, right? And now I'm going to subtract. 40 minus 23, making sure to beware of backward subtraction. 10 minus 3 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. So now I have 17 left over, and I'm going to bring down my 2. So now I have 172 divided by 23. So let's think about that. 23 is close to 25, and 172 is close to 175. So we could think about 175 divided by 25, right? We pick numbers that we know are easy to divide, right? So I can think about how there's 3 25s in 75, and there's 4 25s in 100, right? So that would be 7. Okay, now this is not quite 25, it's only 23, and this is not quite 175, it's 172. So I wonder if it might be 6, right? So let's try 23 times 6. 23 times 6. Okay. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So that's 138. Okay, let's try 23 times 7. Notice that we don't erase these things because we could use them later because we're going to be dealing with 23 quite a bit, right? Okay, 3 times 7 is 21. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 2 is 16, 161. So yeah, I was wrong. My estimate was just fine. So I'm going to say 7. 7 times 23 is 161. Divide, multiply, subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. So now what did I do here? I multiplied by 7, and I took out a big chunk of 161, right? I took out a big chunk. I know that there's a decimal there. We're kind of ignoring it for right now. We could think of this as 4,025 hundredths if we want to do that as a way to get rid of the decimal. Now I have 11, but I still have one more to bring down. So now I have 115. Okay, see why I don't erase? Because this is kind of close to 115. I'm wondering if maybe 23 times 5 would be close. So let's try it. 23 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 10. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Perfect. So that means a 5 goes there. And then I have 115, and I'm always going to take it down to 0. See, that just takes me like a second to write. Okay, so then I have multiplying by 5, and the part I'm taking out is 115. Okay, so you see how these all add up to my 4,025 hundredths. Yeah, and this is adding up to my answer, 175 hundredths. Okay, so now my decimal can go straight up when I'm dividing, right? So it looks like I have 1 75 hundredths juice in each glass. So I'm going to write my sentence. Each, you're writing along with me. Everything that I put on this screen, you're going to have in your book, right? Each glass is 1 75 hundredths cup. Okay, 1 75 hundredths cup. So almost 2 cups in each glass. So kind of a tall glass because 8 ounces is 1 cup. Okay, now let's go back and just look at this. We know that it's 1 75 hundredths, but if we just did the area model, how would we know that? So let's think about the 23 that we took out was actually ones. So let's put a 0 there. Okay, and that because that's ones because we're just in the ones place. But then when we brought down the 2, now that was going to be tenths. So our 161 was actually tenths. And our 5 that we brought down was hundredths. So our 115 is actually hundredths. So do you see that? That our 5 is hundredths, our 7 is tenths, and our 1 is ones. Yeah? I mean, it's kind of neat the way it works out. All right, so that is the end, and I'm going to show you an animal video, and then you are going to work hard on your problem set. Okay, awesome job. All right, work hard. See you guys.